I talk to new real estate agents often, and I'm just gonna set you guys down here. A big question that I get asked on the regular is, what should I be doing to market my business? What social media platform should I be utilizing? Where should I be spending my time as far as that goes as a brand new real estate agent? And if you're not a real estate agent, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned until the end, because I really believe that today's video is actually going to be beneficial to growing your business online, whether you are a real estate agent or you're in a different business and you're trying to run your business online. What I'm going to talk about today is what I would tell you if you were a new real estate agent asking me that question, based off of the trial and error that I have done over the years in my business. A common theme on my channel, something that I just talk about often because it's so important to me, something I've been very, very intentional to do in my business over the years, is figure out ways to work the least amount of hours in your business while making the most amount of money and increasing the income that your business makes over time. That is partially why I've decided to stop using Instagram for my business, and let me explain why. So I do still have, I have an Instagram account. I will post on it, whenever I feel like it. However, it is not part of my business plan. If I am working, if it is a work time block, it is not somewhere I'm putting my time, because I really don't believe it's the best use of my time anymore. Like I said, through trial and error, I believe there is a way better way to get leads, really solid leads coming directly to your email inbox instead. That is a way better use of your time. So that's what we're going to talk about today. With that being said, if you're a real estate agent, I really, really believe, or honestly, other related industries as well, I really, really believe that your time is way best spent on YouTube versus any other social media platforms, because there are some huge differences that separate YouTube versus other social media platforms. What I've found through trial and error over all these years of using and trying different social media platforms to get leads for my business is that YouTube is truly the only evergreen platform. And I'll explain what I mean by that in just a minute. So the thing with Instagram is that it never stops. And also the thing with, TikTok, Facebook, basically every other platform except for YouTube, is that it never stops. And what I mean by that is, when I make a YouTube video, for example, that is going to attract the clients that I want to work with directly to my email inbox for my business, when I do that, I can schedule that video to be posted. It's posted when I'm not even thinking about it later on. And then years down the road, that video is going to work for me, getting clients for me while I sleep. Versus Instagram, if I were to make a post on Instagram, for example, or a reel or a video on TikTok even, those videos are not going to work for me years down the road while I sleep. Actually, I'm going to have to live on those platforms in order to see success and results. So I'm not saying that Instagram, TikTok, even Facebook are bad business plans for your real estate business, because I know, and I talk to many real estate agents who are making a lot of money in real estate and, other industries as well. Obviously, this can apply to from those platforms without using YouTube at all. However, they are not doing it without some serious sacrifices. And what I mean by that is living on the platforms. When you use YouTube to market your business, you truly can post and ghost, is what I call it. You can post the video and then you can dip. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to go back on the platform. You don't have to live on the platform. You can post it and then just not look at it or think about it. And then it goes to work for you, like I said, for years to come. Pretty much every other social media platform absolutely doesn't work like that. It's actually the complete opposite. If you want to see any traction for your business, you have to play their game. If you're utilizing Instagram or TikTok to grow your business, you cannot post and ghost if you want anyone to see your content, that is. You literally have to be living on the app, constantly engaging with other people, commenting on other people's stories, commenting on other people's posts, or they're not even going to see your content. The algorithm on those platforms is not going to push your content out if you are not living on those apps, constantly engaging with other people. So there's that. But then also on top of that, not only do you have to be constantly engaging with other accounts throughout the day, every day, you can't just not go on the app unless you're posting a video, which you can do on YouTube. You also have to be constantly creating new content way more often than you do on YouTube. I feel like people think that YouTube takes up so much time. I've heard agents say that, like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't have the time because YouTube is like the most time-consuming platform. But from my experience, utilizing all the different platforms for my business, and I've had leads from all the different platforms over the years. I have received leads from every different platform for my real estate business. But the reason why I just stick with YouTube and really think that it is the best bang for your buck is because YouTube is a search engine. It is connected to Google, or I believe it's owned by Google, so it's the second biggest search engine next to Google. And when you search things on Google, your videos on YouTube can actually come up as well. Unlike other social media platforms, they are not the same way. So for example, if you make a video on TikTok or on Instagram Reels, it's going to get you a lot more views at first initially than, a YouTube video will, because YouTube takes so much longer to grow. It takes a lot more time to get views it just takes a lot more time to get views. The views are going to go away. Like, it's going to do well, you're going to get all these views, and then poof, it disappears. It goes away in the algorithm. But with YouTube, it's the opposite, where over time, it's like a snowball. You get more and more views over time, and the video brings you more and more leads over time, versus TikTok and Instagram Reels, where you're constantly having to recreate and come up with ideas, because nobody's gonna remember that you're in the business if you make like one video a week. Like, you can't do that. Next reason why Instagram is not part of my business plan as a real estate agent is because your views, like 20 views on YouTube is so much more powerful than 20 views on Instagram. I talk to agents all the time, like I said, in other markets. Many of them are new agents, and they're telling me things like, I'm doing really well in my business. I think I'm gonna start getting leads soon because my video on TikTok went viral, or my video on Instagram went viral. But the thing is, it's really easy for, real estate agents or other businesses that you're trying to grow to focus on the wrong things with those platforms like Instagram and TikTok, because you get very focused on like the vanity metrics, but that's not necessarily what's going to bring you the clients. What I mean by that is 20 views on YouTube is way more powerful from my experience and in my opinion, as far as bringing you the right clients you want to work with. It's way more powerful than 2,000 views on Instagram or on TikTok. Yes, those other platforms like Instagram and TikTok, the ones I keep referencing, they grow a lot faster than YouTube. So you might, I hear a lot of agents say that they want to start focusing on those platforms because they feel like they can have the best chance of growing faster, but the numbers are really the wrong thing to be looking at if you're talking about actually converting these views into solid leads that are going to turn into sales for your business. Whether you're like selling a course online, the views are still more solid if you're selling a course online, or if you're like whatever product or services it is that you're offering or selling. I've said this before, but I got my first $1 million sale in real estate years ago from a video on YouTube that had like 24 views at the time or something like that. And okay, the thing is, if somebody sits through an entire YouTube video of yours, by the end of it, they likely feel like they know you, they feel like they can trust you, they feel like they like you, or maybe they don't feel like they like you, but in business, that's okay because you wouldn't want to work with someone that doesn't really mesh with your personality anyway, so you dodged a bullet in that instance. It's way more powerful than somebody watching a whole 20-second, 5-second Instagram reel. They're not going to feel that connected to you. I know there's so many people that I follow on Instagram, and I'm not a loyal follower to them. I don't feel like I know them. I see their content often, but it's really, really hard to portray that trust in a 5-second video versus the people that you follow on YouTube. Like, I have agents reaching out to me that have watched my YouTube videos for a while all over the country that tell me things like, in my head, I feel like we're best friends, because that's the type of trust you can gain through a long form video that you just can't get through short form. And I think one of the reasons why the views on YouTube, like long form content, are so much more powerful than views on short form content platforms like Instagram or TikTok is because the people are actually searching for this content. The people that find my YouTube videos on my other channel, for example, that brings me my, best clients ever that are moving to my area that I get to work with and sell houses to, those clients are actively putting into the search engine that they're looking for information about, like buying a house in my area, moving to my area, the things that I talk about over on that channel, versus other platforms like TikTok and Instagram. People are literally just like scrolling through, like doom scrolling, and they're not actively looking for a real estate agent, if that makes sense, or whatever services you have. Like, they're not going out of their way to look for you. So you might be like, well, why don't you just do both? Well, here's the thing. Everyone has limited amount of time in their day, especially me, who is somebody who has so many other like hobbies and interests and passions. And obviously I'm a mom. I have so many other things going on in my life. I don't even allow myself to work nearly as much as I could work if I wanted to, just because I'm very, very limited on how much time I'll allow myself to spend in my business. So I know for someone like me, I need to be maximizing every single second of my work time block. If my daughter's in a class or an activity and I'm using that time to work, I need to be utilizing every single second to like its maximum potential, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't know, I just feel like it actually takes way more time to sit there and come up with like short form content ideas and film it and get it right, and like it just takes so much more time than it does to just sit down in your car, film a few videos, edit them while you're walking on your walking pad in your office room, and then schedule them to go out on YouTube and forget about it. Like, it just takes so much less time. And like I said before, like in my business, I am all about maximizing my time and figuring out, and like time freedom, building my business around my life instead of building my life around my business, and figuring out how I can make the most amount of money in my business while working the least amount of hours, and just continue to do that over time more and more so. And so if that's your goal too, there is literally no point to be on that like treadmill, that rat race, the literally never ending treadmill of short form content. There's like literally no point. And I feel as though long form content, YouTube marketing for your business, is so much easier to time block for. For example, I can set aside an hour once a month and get a whole month's worth of content, and then schedule it out to, schedule it out to go, be uploaded throughout the month, like scattered out. Versus short form, it's so much more urgent, because here's the thing. You have to be paying attention to trending audios, and you can't like wait to post it. If there's a trending audio right now, trending sound, whatever, like you have to make the reel right now and get it out as soon as possible, or you're going to miss the boat for that trending audio and no one's even going to see it. And so for me, I really like to be super present and have my peace. And when I'm working, be 100% for my clients. And when I'm not working, be like 100% off. And I feel like that would just be really, really hard to do if you're constantly trying to make short form content. So now let's talk about the money aspect. Okay, so I said earlier that I had received $1 million sale through a video that had 24 views, which does not happen on other social media platforms, okay? Not only that, but when it comes to monetization, there's obviously a zillion and one ways to monetize YouTube, but also every other social media platform now. But here's the thing with all the other platforms. So if you're gonna do like affiliate marketing on YouTube, for example, you don't have to be showing up all the time. You can talk about what you're going to talk about in your video, put your link below, and then enjoy the passive income that comes from it. But if you're doing affiliate marketing on Instagram, for example, you have to be literally living on your stories, like sharing your day-to-day life from like the time you wake up until you go to bed. And the monetization opportunities on other platforms are so just like insignificant almost compared to the opportunities on YouTube. I know back when my YouTube channel, this one, had like 1,000 subscribers and was just monetized from Google AdSense, it was making way more than what I hear people making on TikTok with like 100,000 subscribers. And I know it's a lot faster to get 100,000 subscribers on TikTok, but what I'm trying to say is you just make so much more money from YouTube, from long form videos, than from literally any other platform. So why even waste your time? Like, what's the point? Other thing about Instagram, this is just like a personal preference, but like using Instagram for business, is that I feel as though it's really hard to constantly show up in your Instagram reels and just like your feed in general without always having like new things, especially new outfits, that type of thing. And like, I feel like Instagram just really pushes consumerism. I know, obviously, there's constant ads for things that they think you're going to think you need to buy. And I don't know about you, but I'm like definitely in my under consumption era where I do not want more things than I need. I even obviously enjoy buying clothes, but I don't want more clothes than I need. I don't want too many clothes. I definitely don't have a capsule wardrobe, but I don't want like over consumption, you know what I'm saying? But if you're constantly showing up in Instagram Reels, I feel like there is this pressure to have, or even TikTok, I feel like there is this pressure to have like a new outfit. Like you don't want to be showing up on the same thing over and over, versus on YouTube, like it doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? Or having like an aesthetically pleasing house in the background, or cool like appliances behind you or whatever. But like, because that's like what people like. People like aesthetically pleasing things. That's what does well on TikTok and on Instagram. But on YouTube, like I make money from making videos in my car. Like I don't need to have any fancy things. You don't need to have this like, I don't know. I just feel like it pushes over consumption, I guess you could say. And that's just like not how I want to roll. I'm not a minimalist, but I do like tend to err on the side of like minimal, you know, definitely minimal living. I'd like to have less things than too many things. I just feel like it makes life so much easier and so much better. And that's just another difference between Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. How will I be using Instagram moving forward? So the way I'm going to use Instagram moving forward is, if I want to delete the app for 6 months, I will. If I want to delete it for a week or just a day or two, I will. If I want to go on it every few days, that's kind of what I do now. I'll like go on it every few days, check my DMs, because sometimes I do get DMs from like people that find me on YouTube will DM me on Instagram. You can do that. However, for the quickest response, shoot me an email. My email's in the description below. But I'll still go on it, you know, every now and then to check my DMs. If I have something to post, I'll post it. If I want to post something, I will. But it's definitely not part of my business plan. Not because I don't think you can get business from it. Like I said, there are plenty of agents who I know and I talk to that are absolutely crushing it on Instagram. But none of them are working as minimally as I am to get the amazing clients that I'm getting. I have the most amazing clients ever come to me directly to my email inbox that come through YouTube marketing. If after watching this video, you are also convinced that YouTube is the best platform to get leads for your business and you're like, where do I start? What do I do next? The first thing I would say is get out of your head. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't strive for perfectionism. Strive to just put out the best content you can right now with what you have. And what's most important isn't the fancy equipment. It's not the fancy background. Clearly, it is what you're saying in the video. Is what you're saying actually adding value to someone's life? And for me, that looks like making videos that people who are buying or want to be buying real estate in the town that I live in, making videos that those people are actually wanting to watch, that's actually going to answer their questions and help them. So actually, it's a lot more important what you're saying, like the message you're saying, than all those other like fluffy things that don't really have to matter. The next thing I'll say is I do have a playlist. It's called like marketing chats, something like that, over on my channel. Go find that if you're interested. I really do believe that a lot of those videos can help you, even if you're not in real estate, when it comes to just like using YouTube specifically to market your business online and get clients to your business. It's something I love doing and have been doing for my business. Honestly, like 90% of my business right now comes through YouTube marketing, and it is amazing. It has allowed me to pull back so much in my business, to stay at home with my daughter while running my business, and to truly live a like stress-free life as a real estate agent, which is not the norm, actually, guys. That is not the norm. But I really believe that video marketing and like YouTube marketing specifically is one of the reasons why I'm able to have such a chill schedule as a real estate agent. Okay, my third and final piece of advice is, if you're a realtor, join Real Broker. I'm just kidding, but you don't have to join Real Broker to access their training. I would say at least take advantage of the fact that if you're not with Real Broker, you can tune into their training. And the reason I say this is because Real Broker is known for their video marketing training. They have the best video marketing training in the entire real estate industry that I've seen ever, even just like social media marketing in general. If you are wanting to utilize video of any kind for your real estate business, you have to be with Real Broker. What are you doing if you're not with Real Broker yet? If you're like, what is Real Broker? I have an entire playlist on my channel talking about it. You can go find that on my channel. If you do want to utilize the training that Real Broker offers on video marketing, let me know. shoot me an email. Email's in the description, and I can definitely send you over a link to join some live training. It's free to you, and like I said, you're able to join live if you're not with Real and take advantage of that amazing free training. Okay. Guys, I come on here every week with new videos, so if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell. If you grab value from this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down button, and I'll see you guys soon.